Good day to you, ma'am. I'm Stagan Cuevas, and I'm going to answer the questions 1, 2, and 3. So, question number 1 is, what is the importance of plant taxonomy? So, plant taxonomy helps in determining the phylogenetic relationships and orderly arrangement, gives a detailed overview of morphological and anatomical characteristics. It also helps in identifying newly discovered species. Then question number 2, why is nomenclature of plants necessary? So nomenclature of organisms provides a means of communication and is an ambiguous reference system about the elements that constitute biodiversity. Then question number 3, give the definitions of the following terms, which are kingdom, division, class, order, family, genus, and species. So let's start with the first one, which is kingdom. Kingdom is a taxonomic rank that is composed of smaller groups called phyla, and also the highest rank, or the most general taxon used in classifying organisms. Next one is the division, the act of dividing. A rank that is treated as a division of a genus or subgenus is deemed to be a subgeneric rank for the purposes of nomenclature. Third is the class, consisting of organisms that share a common attribute. It is further divided into one or more orders. Then order, used in classifying organisms, generally below the class and comprised of determinants sharing a set of similar nature of character. Next one is the families, a taxonomic group of one or more genera, especially sharing a common attribute. Next one is the genus, consisting of generally, structurally, or phylogenetically related species or a single isolated species exhibiting unusual differentiations. Then the last one is the species, or a group of organisms that can reproduce with one another in nature and produce fertile offspring. So that's all, and thank you.
Artificial system. This is the earliest system of classification. Such types of classification using some arbitrary or at least based on one or few easily observable characters of plants, such as habit, trees, shrubs, herbs, or floral characters like the number of stamens and carpels, often irrespective of their affinity, is called artificial. A natural system. This system of classification is based on natural affinities among the plants and consider not only the external features but also the internal features. Charles Darwin proposed theory of evolution and said that the present plants have descended from those existing in the ancient past, which means that all present-day plants are related to each other in one way or another. Thus, the closely related plants should naturally be grouped together, and this is called natural classification. Phylogenetic system. This classification system was proposed after Darwin's theory that are mostly phylogenetic. They use as many taxonomic characters as possible in addition to the phylogenetic or evolutionary interpretations. These are expressed in the form of phylogenetic trees or shrubs showing presumed evolution of the groups. The natural systems are two-dimensional. The classification that based on the data available at any time, known as horizontal classification, while the classification that based on past history or ancestral history results, known as vertical classification or evolutionary classification. The last system that we are going to discuss is the mechanical system. The classification systems developed at this period was based on the habit as well as the organs of fructification, such as position, number, and seed number. This system used one or a few selected taxonomic characters to group taxa. Morphology. In biology, morphology is termed as the study of plant growth, habit, leaf arrangement, and shape, flower and fruit characteristics. So, basically, morphology is a branch of biology dealing with the study of the form and structure of organisms and their specific structural features. Anatomy. Anatomical characters of all plant parts can be used, such as the character of stem, root, leaves, bark, secondary xylem characteristics, epidermis including trichomes and stomata. Anatomy is of restricted value for distinguishing species as groups of less than a specific rank, because the difference between them are usually quantitative rather than qualitative. Anatomy forms the backbone of taxonomy. Pollinology. Scientific discipline concerned with the study of plant pollen characteristics including size, shape, aperture, and exine sculpture. Accordingly, the scope of pollinologic research is extremely broad, ranging from the analysis of pollen morphology with electron microscopes to the study of organic microfossils extracted from the ancient combs. Cytology. Cytology helps in studying cellular characteristics like chromosome numbers and its structure, which is useful in classifying organisms. Cytological evidences is used for distinguishing taxa, to determine the origin of groups, and to understand the evolutionary history of related taxa, particularly those at the infraspecific and specific levels. Chemical and molecular. Chemical taxonomy is an approach to the classification of organisms based on the distribution of natural products, while the molecular in taxonomy study the variations in protein or DNA of plants using molecular biology techniques and has become important. Proteins are the earliest molecules used to study phylogenetics. This is used for molecular data made it possible to access the numerous characters and apply statistical approach to taxonomy.